Durag Diaries, Tottenham 3, Burnley 0, and the perfect start to the season. All aboard the Thomas the Frank engine. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Yes, it is just Burnley. This is what we expected. I predicted a 2-0 win. We got 3 goals this time. And some of the performance. Richarlison. Yo, man was moving like R9 today. I can't lie. Shit. That goal might have bought him some time. He might have bought himself until January. What a goal that was. What a performance from him in that last game. We saw in the first half how vital, how key was his hold-up play. But again, today, bullying Esteve, bullying their back line. And for that first goal, there was a good bit of movement from Kudus, found himself out on that right-hand side. And just like we thought he would, great delivery into the box. Just pulled it back a little bit where you thought Richarlison, he might have struggled. But on the volley, found himself, turned his body, found the corner, and it was just a great goal to start the game in the first 10 minutes. The lead, just how you need to start, the perfect start to the season, giving you that confidence. The midfield, I have to say, I like the changes. We saw Gray in the 6. Many people, Fam Zone TVD was telling me that Gray's going to want to leave because Paulinho come, but we saw him start today looking very good, very composed in that 6 role, stepping up when needing to. In possession, in particular, I thought the midfield looked nice with Saar and Bergvall in the advanced 8 positions. That they had a bit more freedom. Saar is just, he's playing some of his best football right now under Thomas Frank. Today, another really strong performance all the way out to the end. Got an assist, even for that second goal. He passed it to Pedro Porro, and then who created that space to give it to Kudus, who again today was just, this is what I've been missing at my club. A 1v1 demon, an absolute magical player, someone who's a star, who gets you off your seats. There was even one time when the ball came with a complete switch of the pitch. It was a long switch, diagonal. He just touched it down, caressed it. It was just naughty, the bit of flair. And he showed that for that second goal. Just that, used that little bit of burst of pace, chopped it inside of his left foot, found a bit of space. Beautiful cross back in their box. And again, thought it was just behind Richarlison, and Richarlison doing what he done in the World Cup a few years ago. And just a beautiful goal. I can't even lie. Like, I saw that and I was like, yo, yeah, this guy, we might have a problem on our hands. Thomas Frank may have a selection problem on his hands because people want us to sign a new striker, but how can you sign a new striker when your backup striker's playing like that? Solanke's obviously going to be one of the go-to options, but it looks like right now, Solanke's going to be on the bench. Richarlison's going to be starting because he's the one that's in form. Away from that, Brennan Johnson getting on the score sheet yet again. I don't think that he had an amazing game. There was times when I think he struggled on the ball, and having 2 right-footed players on the left-hand side does limit you because we haven't got someone who naturally can dribble around the outside. Everybody wants to cut back. Everybody wants to come in and look for the inside pass. But he did still find himself to be dangerous at times, did put a few crosses into the box with his left foot. And I think Brennan Johnson was okay, getting on the score sheet, doing what he does. We have an expectation of him now that he is a goal scorer, and he proved it yet again by getting on the score sheet today. I think the only times where I had a problem was, I think the midfield did get bypassed a few times, but I think that's going to be something that Gray will work on throughout the season. For me, just needs to be a bit more physical, needs to impose himself, probably get his body on some of these players in the midfield, because there's times when they're getting in behind and you just need someone to be a bit more rough and tough. And we found Romero stepping up and trying to play some of those line-breaking passes and forcing it at times because no one in the midfield was doing that. We've got Saar, who I think does really well off the ball to sweep up the possession, and then on the ball sometimes can carry it really well. But again, with Bergvall, another ball carrier who, for me, had a strong game. But again, we need someone that can just make that line-breaking pass. But we did see today, all the news about Eze drop. Personal terms have been agreed, so we expect to see Eze in a Spurs shirt next week. So it could look very different in the midfield. But for me, Thomas Frank set up the team very well today. As we saw, people were trying to tell me that we're going to be playing in a low block, a counter-attacking system, but there's going to be changes. The tactical adaptability has been shown. We played a 4-3-3 yet again today. with the 2 8s as opposed to playing with a 10. We had the Richarlison just, yeah, man. I think Richarlison really today put on a show for performance. And he stole the show. He stole the show today. Like, just when you think, after a pretty decent game against PSG, I was like, yeah, maybe he's putting some value on his stock. Teams are going to want to come in for Richarlison now. But now it's like, yo, I don't know if I can get rid of a player like this. World Cup year, he knows what he's playing for. He's playing for his chance to get into the Brazilian team. And just like if we get Savinho coming, him and Kudus seem to have some type of good link up. 2 assists for Kudus today, 2 goals for Richarlison, half of what he got for the whole of last season. I don't think you can get rid of a player doing that. But nah, man. Good start to the season. Exactly what you want to see from your team. The only problem, like we said, was the lack of the creativity and ball progressing, and probably forcing a lot of our play out on those wingers. But when you have a player like Kudus who can just take someone on time and time again, they just couldn't stop him. That Hartman and Esteve on the right side or the left side, I should say, on the back of the back five, they were just getting worked. And Kudus is proving yet again. A lot of people are trying to tell me 55 million is a lot of money. For me, this is looking like potentially the best steal of the summer. 55 million pounds is looking like an absolute steal. And people looked far too much into the numbers last season when he wasn't happy, when he wasn't at a team where he wanted to be. This season, I expect at least 10 goals, 10 assists in all competition, 20 GA. But in the Premier League, I think his numbers are more than show out. And we're seeing that just today, that this was the start of the Kudus reign at Tottenham. And the start of oh yeah, how could I forget? Top of the league. I'm not even saying anything. I'm just putting out a fact. I'm just stating a fact. That's all. Don't shoot me. I'm not trying to say we're gonna win it. It's nothing like that. I'm just stating a fact. It does look like we go top of the league just for the time being, for the first game week. So Thomas Frank, all of his haters, they're gonna have to watch out, because we saw how he was. But Man City next week, big game, big business is going to be needed, and hopefully we can try and wrap up that deal for Savio so he can get a return against his former manager, who has said that he is injured. We have heard apparently Savio is injured, he has been saying. So let's see how that plays out. If at least we have Eze for that game, that gives me a lot of confidence, and just knows that we've got that creative player, someone who can get through those get through the lines and progress the ball for us. But let's see how that goes. Big previews and stuff coming up next week. But make sure you are subscribed to the channel. As you can see above my head, we are on the road to 5K, but real close to 4K, like a last 100. We're on the last 150 or something like that. So right now, so make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're liking the videos. Make sure you're commenting. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Any of your standout performances. For me, man of the match has to be Richarlison. Yeah, Richarlison. He's done his thing today, and as we can see, the Durag is back. The Durag is back, man. Until next time, it's your boy Durag Diaries. We're out, man.